What up, everybody? Difficult People Chronicles, Seriously Focused Johnnie, SF Johnnie. Today, I am going to talk about, I had to look for it for a second, words spoken over your life. This applies to adults who people have said things to you when you were a child and you still remember it. This goes out to words spoken to children. Parents or other adult figures need to act. And when I say act, you need to pray over those words spoken over people's lives. I'm going to tell you why. One of the things that I notice is that you have people that you will come in contact with and they will say some things. For example, you're at a, let's say, a family cookout, and you're always talking about your relationships with people. And then someone comes out their face and say, you're going to always be single. You need to pray against that. You really do. Instead of them saying something like, maybe you need to stop thinking like that so you can find somebody worthwhile. Or maybe you need to stop dating these types of people so you can X, Y, and Z. People really don't realize the damage that it does when they talk negative over people's lives. I remember when I was younger and I was dating a guy and he was just like, oh, you're never going to be married. You're never going to have kids. And it stuck in my head for so long. And at the time, I wasn't where I am at today to pray against it. I've realized that he did that to try to get me stuck and believe that because that's what he wanted. Instead of him saying something positive, we need to be mindful what people say to us. We need to be mindful what people say to our kids. And you need to start praying against those people, praying over your kids, rebuking those sayings, because what happens is it's people talk about, voodoo, things like that. A lot of times these things can happen just by speaking over people's lives with negativity. A lot of the times these sayings come to just by speaking negativity into whoever's life. Like when a person says to a child, oh, you're never going to be nothing. And then they grow up and it's just a cycle pattern of them going to jail or always getting into some kind of trouble that they can't get out of. That's like the old saying that some of the old people used to call their kids Jezebel. I never found that cute. I didn't even like the name. Didn't know what it meant, but I was like, that's a stupid name. That name is ugly. People never know. And then the child grows up and is just sleeping with everything. Just sleeping around with everybody, having no type of boundaries as far as, don't know what she loves from what she hates. And if a person says, I want to sleep with you, she doesn't even have a preference, like what she likes. And that's because somebody called her Jezebel. Or she uses her skin for money, but don't see herself as a prostitute. Why? Because she thinks it's normal. Yeah, we got to start speaking life into people. We got to stop those negative spoken words over our lives, over our kids' lives. You got to nip it in the bud if it's your child, and you got to explain to them why it's wrong so they are aware. So when something happens and sometimes kids don't feel right about certain things that are said, but they don't have an idea what it means. And you gotta have that communication with them so they can run and tell you. And then you could nip it in the bud.
One of the books in the Bible that I love outside of the Psalms is Proverbs. And in Proverbs, the King James Version, chapter 18, verse 21, it states, the tongue has the power of life and death, and those who love it will eat its fruit. I say this to people all the time about the power of the tongue. this is one of the reasons why a lot of times people who are evil, they just say negative things, and then all of a sudden you look around and you see it happen. Nobody rebuked it. Nobody said anything. It is imperative, like I said before, that you pray against those negative words spoken over your life and over your kids' life. And if it's something that happened in the past and you didn't even realize, pray about it now. Just say, the negative words that were spoken over my life and my kids' life, or my husband's life, or my family's life from my past, or the day I was conceived. You got to speak against that. I know someone who constantly speaks negative over other people, and when I was younger, I didn't understand. I would say things like, oh, that's mean, and then that was that. But then I've come to realize that when people do things like that and they're not willing to change, but they constantly speak negative over other people, and you are sitting there witnessing whatever they said play out, it's dangerous. And I've come to learn that sometimes people, when they speak that negativity over other people, it's either they don't know any better, they have no idea how it coincides with the Bible, or they're plain out jealous that you, your child, your kids, your husband, your marriage, your life, however, whatever, is going to be better than what they have or what they have ever thought. Let that sink in later.
Love me more and I love you more. Check out the links underneath for one-on-one session, group sessions. Hit me up, seriouslyfocusedjohnnie.com. Have a blessed one.